next I'm going to show you where to apply the colors that you've received. So everybody that gets color matched from me has a 3D brush added to their cart. And this is for the 3-dimensional foundation colors that I just showed you that come in the palette. So there are two sides to the 3D brush. There's the tapered side, and the tapered side is used for like under eye areas and for like the side of the nose, and sometimes I use it for like chiseling out my jawline and so forth, and it's nice to use down here as well. But primarily the side that I'm using on the 3D brush is this flatter end. And this makeup brush can literally be used to apply all of our makeup. I'd say maybe the only thing you wouldn't want to use it for is like maybe eyeshadow, but I use it for all of these colors, as well as my lip and cheek color, and also sometimes if I apply lip and cheek to my eyes. So let's go ahead and start applying the foundation. So we're going to start first with our contour, which is the darkest brown color that has an ashy tone. And it's the one that we placed all the way to the right-hand side when you're looking at your palette, or if you're looking at this, I believe that's your left. So basically the darkest brown. And you just want to tap your finger in there. You're just looking to get a little bit on it. Contour is a little bit sticky feeling, okay? It has a little bit of a tackiness. It's a little drier than the other formulas. It's not quite as creamy. So sometimes, you know, you're gonna get it, and then what you're gonna do is just start making little dots along your hairline. Contour goes along our hairline because we're trying to bring back shadow and dimension to our face, because as we age, we lose a lot of color in our face. Like, look at my face right now. Do you see shadows and dimension? Not really, right? So let's go ahead and apply contour to the other side of my forehead. And you'll see I'm not dipping back in constantly. I'm just doing a very small amount. And the deal with this kind of makeup is you can always add more. I always veer and recommend that you start off with as little as possible. You don't need a ton. And everybody doesn't have a big forehead, right? Like I actually do. So I really love to contour my forehead significantly. Next, we're going to do the contouring along our cheekbones, okay? So you just want to find the bone. If you have like a fleshy cheek, just feel where the bone is. So you can see that I have like a natural shadow that's going down, right? It's pulling down. I want to actually give myself more of a chiseled looking cheekbone. So I'm going to actually start at my hairline and just draw it out where I want it to go. Draw it out. That's it. And then once we're finished with getting that contour on our cheekbone where we want, I'm going to reach to the back of my jawbone and I'm going to run the contour along the bottom of my bone. You don't want to run it along the top. You want to run it along the bottom. So start here, because we're trying to create an illusion of a shadow that will mask things like chubby faces, jowls, and so forth. So you see how I've done that? And then we're just going to leave it. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Find where the jawbone, or find where our cheekbone starts. Go ahead and draw out that contour. And guys, if you make a mistake, a little bit of rose water and one of these makeup rags, it wipes right off. So don't worry, you can't really do it wrong. And once you start blending, you'll find that it's very forgiving. Go ahead and get that cheekbone on there. Okay, looks pretty similar. Every single side of my face is not, I mean, our faces aren't perfectly symmetrical, right? When you're applying makeup, they're not going to be either. So don't worry, just put it on. Okay, and now we're gonna do the jawbone on this side. So remember, it's like I said, you don't wanna go on the top of the jawbone. You wanna go right along the underside, right along the edge. See where I've got it there? Kind of just drawing that line on with our fingers, okay? And that's the majority of contour. Now, if you want to contour your nose, I never really did it before, but what you do is you want to tap in and get your contour on there, and then you want to basically rub it between your two fingers, right? So now you have 2 fingers that have it. You want to start about where your eyebrows come together and draw that along the center of your nose. And then I always go a little across the bottom. So, I mean, as you can see here, does it look perfect? It doesn't matter, it's gonna get blended. And then I also like to add a little bit of contour underneath my lip for additional fullness. And that's it for contour. So you can use a rag and wipe your fingers, and then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to do the next cut.